That's an old one. That's Terry Funk one. That was signed by Terry Funk.
Oh, nice.
That's why I haven't re-leathered it. The strap is horrible, but it's signed by Terry Funk, so I kind of can't re-leather it. I was like, well, whatever.
Mm. But that little guy? Wouldn't worry about that little guy.
All right, I won't.
You're my man, Ramathorn.
You probably... Never mind.
Bulletproof cup.
I woke up...
I invented that gag. Except back in my day, the rookie wore the cup.
Last night...
We also used blanks. You're a sick motherfucker, Mac.
Last night, we were gaming. This guy.
Oh, God. Here we go.
This guy makes a comment. We're on Brawlhalla, and that just, like, rage just, like, flows, like, the fucking Niagara.
From both of us.
From, like, Niagara Falls. Just all over. Like,
everybody.
It's spraying all over me. So, this guy, I said, we're doing challenges and stuff, and and instead of, like, using main characters to make it easy, even though it's enraging, we're like, all right, well, now you have to use a guy that has 3 speed or something. We'll make it even more difficult, more than it is. You know, why not? Masochist. So
Doesn't that say that? Oh, yeah,
we get done, we get done playing a few matches, and I finally get these last 2 things I'm getting. And I go, all right, I have all the challenges for these last 8 weeks. He makes a comment. He goes, God, get a life. Didn't think anything of it. This morning, first thing I think of is that. And after about 2 seconds of pondering it, I'm like, what fucking more do I have to take on? Like, how much more shit do I have to do? Like, dude, I literally don't have enough time to do any more things.
No, fuck that. Let me explain.
I would love to have a 36-hour day. Trust me.
Let me explain.
Because I would do so much more. I would take on movie production. I would love to do that.
How long ago did we just get back in a Brawlhalla? 2-3 weeks.
No, about a month or so.
Okay, in 4 weeks, you've done almost 10 weeks worth of challenges.
4 weeks. It's been about 2 weeks. I got back into it 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
No, because if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. But the thing is the nice thing about when you start like 6-7 weeks in, like we did,
almost everything you do
when you do one match, you're getting like 5 different bars going up. So it's not so bad.
Yeah.
So there's that. But I don't know why, because we all rip on each other really fucking hard. Sometimes harder than we should. Sometimes it goes a little too far. But, whatever. It doesn't matter. But, yeah, and very rarely will something get to me. But this morning, I don't even know if it got to me, but it's the first thing that I woke up, and it's the first thing that popped into my head. I'm like, the fuck more do I have to take on? I'm like, damn it, we gotta do a film now.
Yeah, we do. No, yeah, we go hard on it. Yeah, we definitely go hard on each other a little once in a while, every now and again. A little further than we should. How many times, and you know what I'm talking about, how many times
I watch you and Ty.
Fucking horse.
No, I watch you and Ty in the chat, in the group chat, and sometimes it gets really spicy.
I don't even just...
That's always fun.
Half the time I read the message. Oh, that's cute.
I don't know.
Every now and
again, those responses from both of you, it's like, and me and Rich talk about it. We're just both like, let's sit back and see where this goes.
Well, the one
I'd say about once every year, one like that ends up. Yeah, but yeah. So
yeah.
You remember? Remember, like 6 months ago? Well, geez, at this point, 8, 9, 10 months ago now.
So it would put us at
October-ish.
October, November, okay.
Like every show we had, we were talking about COVID.
Oh.
Every single, it was like for probably a month and a half anyway.
It almost got to the point where I think we even said it on camera. We feel like we're beating a dead horse.
Yeah,
but
it was,
the horse
like,
is still alive.
At the time though, like she was working contact tracer, so I had like hot off the press information coming out, and a lot of it was like the fuck. So it was perfect. But then we finally got away from it. Till now. And the CDC's new guidelines that dropped. Basically, COVID is no more. So, that's really, really basic. COVID is no more. the CDC's new guidelines dropped, and I took a screenshot of it. It's a really short list.
Yeah, I gotta see this.
So, new guidelines from the CDC focus on individual decisions. Those exposed to the virus are no longer required to quarantine.
So no more COVID pay.
No, that's going to be gone too. COVID pay is going to be gone, and funding through a lot of different companies is going to be gone. I'll get to that. They're just kind of going to shoot a lot of businesses in the
Time to go back to work, fuckers.
Not even that. A lot of businesses are going to go under, but I'll get to that. Second one, unvaccinated people now have the same guidance as vaccinated people. I'll get back to that one too. Students can stay in class after being exposed to the virus, and it's no longer recommended to screen those without symptoms. So basically, we've just downgraded the whole thing to the flu. Hey, you're sick? Stay home. Not like anybody was saying this is a flu over the last 2.5 years. Going back to what you were saying with the COVID funding, though. A lot of and this is right from a local business here. I was talking to Kim. A local business here, they're suffering
Kim,
for it.
How's she been?
Good. If
ankles still go behind her head? What?
Kim, that's Charlie. That's Charlie saying that.
Sorry, Kim. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, real quick.
I'll let him explain this way.
Okay, I'm gonna have fun.
No, I'm gonna get through this first.
Fucker.
So,
like most of the women in my life, I just disappointed another woman by not finishing.
Well, I'm going to finish this point, fucker. So, the local business, or a local business, but small businesses, they had all this funding, COVID funding. So people, it's like, I don't want to go to work. It seems dangerous. So the businesses would get this money from the government to pay out to them. So it wasn't out of their pocket. Well, now, even if you didn't use that money, evidently, you have to pay that money back. So, yeah. And a lot of businesses, how the fuck are they going to cover that? Because a lot of businesses were going under, basically, right when we were in all these quarantines.
The stimmy money.
Yeah. So now you add that on top of it, like they're just getting out of that, staying afloat. But now and this I didn't even know about until I was talking to her because of, what's his face? Her fiance.
Really?
I can't remember.
Fuck.
Anyway.
I can't explain that shit now.
None of his workers took time off during the entire thing. They all worked through the whole thing. So he didn't have to use that money. But even though he didn't have to use the money, it was like they didn't get paid the money. It was just available. So, we have these employees aren't going to be here. We can draw from that fund, basically. It's not like they got a pre-dated check or anything like that. And it's like, okay, so they didn't draw from it, but they still have to pay it back.
Well, he's safe then.
No, he still has to pay the money back, even though they didn't use it. Every business, whether you use the funding or not, has to pay the government back.
Okay. Let me just make sure I'm understanding this.
All right.
Here is my drink. Have some if you get thirsty.
Right.
I gave you the drink. Now you're not thirsty. Okay, well, you got to give me my drink back.
No, you have to pay me part of the money that I spent on that drink. That's what they're saying.
But if they didn't use any of the money, it basically sat in an account and did nothing.
They didn't have it. If they needed it, they could have drawn from whatever government.
But that's just it. Then people who didn't use it shouldn't have to pay it back.
Right. And everyone does. Every business across the board.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah. That's why
it's fucking welfare on a fucking government scale.
Basically. Well, I mean, welfare is a government, but...
No. I mean, the government is now a fucking welfare itself. There's no more welfare organization. There is the fucking United States government. Right. Oh, we're going to make you pay for everyone else's problems.
I right from the get-go, when they started giving out these stimulus checks, remember? Like, here's... I don't even remember what it was, like $600 or $1,000, whatever the hell it was. They started dishing these out a couple of years ago, and all of us down at the warehouse were like, we don't want the fucking money. Like, keep the money, because we're all like, we're going to have to pay this back. This isn't good. There's no reserve currency that's free. We're going to have to pay it back, for sure. And we're seeing it now. we're seeing it all being paid back now. But yeah, that one's kind of floored. Like, I saw the guideline thing, which I'm like, wow, everyone that got a vaccine and is really fucking pushing it, trust the science. And now this all comes out. It's like, well,
How about the people that didn't trust the science, but their jobs coerced them
that's another one.
into vaccines?
Yeah, that's another one. So, well, if you don't get it, you're going to be released. Like, fuck. Like, just the fact that the CDC now finally went, but not, so now they just left a wake of destruction, basically. I mean, it's relieving that the CDC's finally just come out and said, yeah, vaccinated, unvaccinated, I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess the
Told you so.
Greta Massetti is branch chief of epidemiology in the CDC, said there's virtually no difference between the vaccinated and the unvaccinated because 95% of the population has some sort of protection against it, whether you got it or didn't.
Yeah.
Which, again, everyone was saying, like, when Delta came around, which is an easily transmissible but much weaker version, pretty much, like, that's what we all got. I think the second time I got it, I think that's what it was. That's what we all got.
I got mine during the Omicron variant.
Yeah, I don't even fucking know what variant I had. I know I got it.
Autobots
I know for sure I had it
rolled out.
twice, but in retrospect, last summer in July when I was sick for a day, same exact thing, like a few hours of fever and on the couch and then gone and just kind of run down for a day or two. Same exact thing. But I didn't I was like, fuck it, I'm probably just run down. And that's when I was laid up on the couch anyway with my back. So I was like, I'm not going anywhere.
Dude, when I got it, I didn't feel any worse. I woke up just not feeling good. And for me, of all people, I don't call out very often. Very often at all. I always joke about it, but I almost never do.
Right.
So when I called out, the last time I called out was, remember, the Stones? I was on the way to work. And I was like, I better not go to work. There's a lot of problems going on. So when I called out, it was like, well, you better go get checked. Okay, I'll go get checked. You have COVID.
Yeah, well, it was kind of, 5-day vacation. Well, the first time it was 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was 10 days.
Yeah, the first time I got it was 10 days. But they had just changed it to 10 days from 14.
Yeah, it used to be 14 when it first came out.
And the second time I had it, it changed to 5 days. But either way...
Business days or 14 calendar days?
Business. Weekends don't count.
Weekends? What are weekends? Even when you have nothing to do with it on weekends, you still have to do shit.
Yeah, that's true. Like today, I had nothing to do, and for some reason it was a busy day.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Same here. I finished fixing my bike.
Yeah.
Oh, I was pissed.
I mean, that sucks when you wake up in the morning and you're like, yeah, it's going to be a low-key day. But then by 10 o'clock, you're like, fuck, man. Like, I'm not going to get home till 6.
That's literally...
Like, this sucks.
I had the hardware and everything to finish. That's almost on the money what happened to me. I wake up, it's like 6, and I'm like, yeah, 6:30, cup of coffee. Got myself a little Danish to go with my coffee. And I'm sitting there telling me, this is great. Oh, wait, I still have that hardware to finish putting the motor mount bolts back on my bike. Yeah, I'll do that
Sunday.
I'll do that later. 10 o'clock rolls around. Shit, I better get that done. And then you were hitting me up about going out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm down. At least do something fun. I'll bring the tall one. Gotta go here for noon. Fuck!
Yeah. Oh, shit.
And then I called you. Yeah, I forgot. I'm disappointing everybody over the last couple days.
I'm like a single mother to her baby daddy. I use my daughter as ammo against him. Yesterday,
fucking does.
we were supposed to fucking do this yesterday. I hate doing these on
Friday
Sundays.
night and last night.
But Friday was understand, but I hate doing these on Sundays.
But fair.
So he gets all these, oh man, I just got home, sat down. It's like, oh man, my daughter was really looking forward to see her Uncle Charlie, but I'll go have to break her heart and tell her.
And then I actually literally text the guy. I'm like, I actually feel bad now. You
Good,
dick.
you piece of shit.
And that's exactly what he texted
Yeah,
back.
that's right.
Fucking
no,
asshole.
that was on the PlayStation. Like,
Oh, yeah.
You fucking piece of shit. Anyway, speaking of piece, no, that's a bad segue. That's a different one. That's further down.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll find a way to tie it in.
You know what? No, I have to do this one further down because that's a terrible segue for this next one. But so, speaking of piece of shit, Whoopi can't keep her fucking mouth shut. Whoopi Goldberg uses God to defend abortion. I saw a clip of it. I had to put it down. I was like, "This is great," because just a couple.
want to
weeks,
see that
Just
clip.
a couple weeks ago, we were talking about The View, and now here it is again.
Hold on, I gotta see this clip.
He gave us freedom of choice. Whoopi Goldberg
No, he
says
didn't.
God supports abortion during debate with recently returned conservative guest Elizabeth Hasselbeck. This is from the Daily Mail.
Here we go. I got it on YouTube.
Gold.
The views of Whoopi Goldberg bringing God into the abortion debate. Listen to this.
God made us smart enough to know when it wasn't going to work for us. That's the beauty of giving us freedom of choice.
No.
Yes, because I know my relationship. You know, my relationship is always choppy.
Basically, that's.
You sound like
Listen,
an
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but listen to me right now.
I'd say you sound like an infomercial, but not a good one, like Slap Chop, more like Shake Weight.
And it mists on you when you're done.
South Park. Wow. She's really grabbing at straws, dude.
She quote, it says, she goes on further. I also know that God made me smart enough to know that if there are alternatives out there that can work for me, I will investigate them. But I also know God said no unto others as you would have them do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I will not make that decision for anybody. She slammed. Only moments earlier, Hasselbeck said she believed that women were only getting half the information and that the U.S. was failing to provide pregnant women with all the options available to them. Whoopi just knows how to fucking just hit them out of the park. At least for people like us that just watch and be like, this is fucking a train wreck. Let's keep watching. Yeah, where's the popcorn? Michael Jackson was popcorn Thriller. And you know what's the best part of ever? Yeah.
Sorry.
You know who did that? That was Vincent Price.
Yes,
Anyway,
it was. I know that.
the best part with all those broads in the show is they all don't fucking know when to shut up, and they just keep going.
They double down.
Yeah, even when they're blatantly wrong or in the wrong or factually wrong, any kind of wrong, they go back and defend themselves. Like, it's so much easier if you just go, "Shit, I was wrong. I apologize." Like, quick 2 sentences and boom, done.
Oh, you
But
mean
no,
like
they're
Whoopi
like,
Goldberg did? Like Whoopi Goldberg did with the Holocaust not being racist?
holy shitballs.
I'm sorry that you don't agree with me. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
It wasn't about race, and just about everyone on the panel were like, So that's bad when the View looks at Whoopi and be like, "You need to shut the fuck up now." And they're like, "Well, yeah, it was." They're like, "No, it wasn't." Oh boy,
Because we can't be racist against whites.
I would love to have a show with Whoopi. So when she goes on a tangent like that, I could be like, "No, let her go." Let's see how deep this hole gets. Can you see anything? I love that show. I don't like to watch it, but I love what comes out of it.
She's looking up. At first, I thought you were crazy, but now I can see you're nuts.
What was that from? I just saw
Austin
it.
Powers. Gold number.
Oh, yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
just see it then. Maybe I saw something else. It was
It's funny.
Timcast
Yeah.
is now NewsGuard certified. Yeah. So now
Good.
I can pull news from them. They're NewsGuard certified, and it wouldn't be just like me being a fan of them. Be like, well, it's Timcast said it. It's like,
You mean the Ministry of Truth won't say anything about it? I mean,
No.
the organization that doesn't exist?
well, anyone that is extremist in any direction, be like, well, I don't like it. So, and they're not even an actual news source. It's just journalists. No, they're NewsGuard certified now. So now they can go. They're legit, like the Daily Wire or the Daily Mail and
Well, that's just it. They're
MS.
not-
And not to cut you off, not to cut you off, but and MSNBC has now been defunct. And not defunct as a company. As far as NewsGuard go, they're now false narrative or false news.
For some reason, you said MS the first time. I'm like, MST3K? What's up with MST3K?
Oh, they're NewsGuard certified as well.
And the whole time, all I'm thinking is seeing those guys in the shadows looking back at each other.
I love that. I love that. It's one of the all-time favorite shows.
I gotta get that series.
That's where the wrestling commentaries, or
Yeah.
they were like That and Beavis and Butthead is really where that stems from.
Sorry, the MSNBC has been
They're now
declared like a falsified news place.
pretty much, yeah.
No shit.
Which it only
Not
took.
surprised.
Yeah, a lot of shit that came out of there. Like what?
You lift the skirt. No, it's a dude under here. I'm a woman. It's a dude under here. I'm a woman.
Oh, it's a woman that identifies as a dude. So it is a man.
It's a ma'am. It's ma'am.
There.
Remember that GameStop video? Excuse me, sir. Ma'am, I'm a ma'am. Holy shit! I'm about to fight somebody.
Olivia Newton-John died.
Yeah,
that was one. I didn't write down, but
it sucked.
Yeah,
I saw a TikTok video of Danny Zuko. It was a cartoon drawn. It was a cartoon animated one. Danny Zuko lands the car, kicks her out of the car. It's just her dead body in a skeleton form. He goes, "Hey, I'm done with her," and takes off again. Olivia Newton-John, rest in peace. I was like, Jesus Christ. He's had her up in the car for like 50 years.
That didn't take long.
Only 30 years. 40 years, whatever it is.
They're super tight leather pants in grease. Mm-hmm. And then, on top of that, like a day later, Anne Hesh dies at 53. That's
oh yeah, and
that one's a little not as clear cut as Olivia.
Yeah,
so that one that thing I sent you, which would Anne Hesh dying, there was some like kind of stuff behind it anyway, which I think it's more conspiracy territorial, whatever. But then that video, I'm like, wasn't she brain dead? Like 60% brain dead?
No, I'm not trying to defend.
It's not defending.
Well,
if it's information you have.
So if you read, I read the time lapse like of what was going on and what happened.
Okay. Well, first off, before you get into that, what the video I'm talking about, if you haven't seen it, it's first responders on a gurney pulling what I'm assuming is Anne Hesh's body, fully covered, which usually means she's deceased or horribly mutilated, out of the scene and into an ambulance. And as they go to load her onto the ambulance, she suddenly
bolts up.
George Romero pops up like a living dead and pushes like the body bag off of her, or the covering. And that's where you're watching, you're like, wait a minute, aren't you
so in a okay, watching the time lapse of everything that's going on, she wasn't brain dead on scene. She wasn't 60% brain dead on scene. When she got into the hospital and was slowly going downhill,
right,
she went into the coma, and that's where she went brain dead. But back to that video, I did a lot of watching, a lot of reading, and I also remember back to our EMT training. With a severe burn victim, you are supposed to cover them fully,
right,
for the fact of get the sunlight off of them,
right,
and protect their skin or what's left of them,
right,
from any dirt and debris getting onto them.
Yeah, infection.
Human shock, and then the human body also goes into a state of shock.
I figured that was an adrenaline pump.
It's
an adrenaline dump.
Adrenaline dump, exactly.
Right.
I see both sides. It's all peculiar because there's a lot of eyewitnesses account that she was being chased.
Really? Yes. I saw there was someone was comparing it to Princess Di, and I thought that I didn't even know anything about a chase, but I just thought that was a weird thing. Just like Princess Di, what the fuck does that have to do with
Princess Di was also part of the.
That was a paparazzi chase, yeah.
But she was also at the time working on. There was children stuff going on that she was working on exposing or getting involved with.
See,
then this woman's putting out the movie, The Girl in Room 13,
right,
which is about the child sex trafficking,
right,
which. Apparently, I only saw. I was perusing an article. It was a link. I saw the link, so it could have been fake, could have been real. I don't know. I tried to click it. It brought me to some fucking like advertisement website. So I was like, shit. The producers or the company that Anne Hesh was working with to put out the movie about child sex trafficking, Girl in Room 13. Is now under fire because they still insist on moving forward with releasing the movie. Mm-hmm. And there's the article, production or film company, production company, whatever it was, at risk
Distribution company?
Yeah, whatever it is, at risk of legal, what was it? In danger of legal ramifications if movie is still released. And that was the headline. I went to click it, brought me to the website. I'm like, fuck. I tried looking into it, like who made the movie for? Are they are they going to get in trouble? But I couldn't find anything about it. So that's where the conspiracy ones. It's like, wait a minute. This is. I understand the full coverage. I understand the adrenaline dump. I understand the reaction that people are like, oh my god, this poor woman. And then I see everybody jumping on board with all of a sudden the conspiracy theory. There were people chasing her. There's eyewitnesses accounts. But then the fact that the company went on record to say we were still going to move forward with putting her movie out for her in honor of her, and then there was that little cheesy headline, whether it was real or not, I can't verify. And then it's like, wait a minute. I've never been one to like, oh, that's definitely a conspiracy theory.
No,
True.
and that's the problem now is there's so much shit that, like, real shit that's come out and
Remember,
really make your head spin.
We have to fact check these. There's rules. There's ways to get around these conspiracy theories.
Well, that's a whole conspiracy in and of itself, but
It's not a conspiracy theory.
you're right. What am I stupid?
We're just trying to disprove these crazy critical thinkers.
There's so much shit that's come out and been real. But
Yeah.
but that now I think because like I don't know if I sent to you or I think politics has become pop culture now. Like everything in politics, everybody pays attention to now. It's like the new fucking TV show. Like everyone knows about it. The new Game of Thrones is what's going on in the Republicans and Democrats like base camp. But now because along with that, conspiracy theory is also riding the whole wave along with politics being pop culture. Now it just seems like everybody that has a phone and wants to put shit like this out there and be like, well, that's a conspiracy theory. And Hesh, she's the start of the zombie virus. You hear all this crazy bullshit that goes along with it. Like, it's hard to fucking weed out some of this shit. Some of it's just so ridiculous. Like, here's like, whoa, I think I saw Cthulhu off the shore.
The turn of the freaking frog's gay.
Yeah, and it was off the shore of Atlantic City, and it's coming in. We're all gonna die. And like, shut the fuck up. But there's stuff like that, and then like lizard people and the government. There's people that fucking really believe that.
The morphers. You see the
Anything like that.
The people show the videos of the people morphing on camera.
It's shit like that that gives just like people like me at least a bad name. Like where I look at something and be like, that doesn't seem right. And there's people that just buy a narrative and be like, well, you're fucking tinfoil hat. Like, I was like, no, I'm just questioning something that just has some holes in it. A case in point, the whole COVID thing for the last year and a half, when I kept speaking out about it, it's like, listen, if you want to get a vaccine, go ahead and do it. But I just don't buy the way they're fucking pushing it. And I think it's bullshit. Lo and behold, here we are. But there's so much shit now that's considered conspiracy theory. One, some of it gets thrown in. It's like, that doesn't belong here. That doesn't belong here. That doesn't belong here. Like this thing with Anne Heche. The her popping up. I'm like, well, that's fucking weird. But it wasn't so much that. The sex trafficking movie, that kind of caught my attention. And when you said, well, the Princess Di was doing something with that too, and there's a list of different people that have died. One being what's his
Chester
face?
Bennington from Lincoln Park.
That one.
Paul Walker from Fast and Furious.
That's another one. There's a few of them. They've all had some kind of connection with, we're going to out this human and child sex trafficking thing, and then suddenly they die. I mean, is there definite proof, like, of validity in all of these? Because if there is, then you got something. But the problem is I've heard all these names connected with all these things, and there may be a loose connection, like this movie coming out, but is that really trying to out something, or is that just making a made-for-TV movie that is, I assume, going on Lifetime? Actually, I think it is going on Lifetime now that I think about it.
Yeah.
That's a Lifetime movie. I mean, it's like child abuse, spousal abuse. It's always some kind of abuse, and then maybe a happy ending in the end. I mean, that's a Lifetime movie. Or is it just that? So,
hold on.
But like coming up with an actual, it's like, well, yeah, this is definitely, she was trying to out the whole sex ring in Hollywood and politics, and then boom, she's gone.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then yeah. There was also, I put this down, in 2008 she starred in a movie called Toxic Skies, which is about the powers that be spraying toxic fuel into the atmosphere, creating a virus that spread around the world.
What? Oh, yeah. Trying to find out. Because she was doing all kinds of things. Princess Diana.
Yeah, like I didn't know anything
Princess
about
Diana,
that.
sorry.
All I know, the story I got is the one that everyone knows. Is she was being chased by the paparazzi. Was it the driver or bodyguard or whatever, Dodi Al-Fayed?
Yeah, something like that.
Went down into that tunnel, and then I heard a lot of people say that she was actually ousted, and it wasn't just an accident. Did hear that? There was nothing with why, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to... It's a lot of perusing.
Yeah, well...
Yeah. We'll have to...
Yeah, I'll look into that at some point.
Yeah. Sorry.
I know I sent this one to you.
But yeah, no, Paul Walker,
All right.
Chester Bennington.
What were they doing? Like
Chester Bennington was...
Chester, I think I heard some kind of actual legitimate something
about child
a while ago.
child abuse and molestation
Right.
going on within
Hollywood. Which that's been documented for a long time. Corey Feldman talked about it.
Where is he nowadays? Still alive.
He's in a rocks band, which is not the greatest, but at least he's doing what he likes, I guess. Who else? Macaulay Culkin's another one.
Yep.
I don't know if it was so much abuse. I think there was some abuse from like directors and shit like that. But I know that a lot of that was drugs and alcohol. But any child star is brought up in that scenario. So there's been abuse in Hollywood that's been referenced for decades.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude.
Michael Jackson doesn't count.
Yeah.
Would you go to Neverland Ranch?
Hell yeah, I would.
Would you go down the slide with him? And
I'm too old for him anyway. Plus, he's dead, so I'm safe.
that's true. When we were kids, would you go? You think? Yeah, I'd go too. Made Thriller and the Bad album.
I'm just saying. But you got to also remember too. He came up from childhood in the limelight.
He's another one that his father made him take puberty blockers or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. To keep his soprano
Jackson
voice.
5.
Yeah, to keep his soprano voice. Yeah. Not that that fucks you up in any way.
Yeah, no, puberty blockers are totally safe.
Yeah, it's fine. Anywho, you can now, if you are a man, and you unintentionally impregnate a woman.
Oh, you can be sued.
In the state of Ohio, there is a bill, if it passes,
On the docket right now, yep.
could allow the woman to sue you, even if she is a consenting adult. Tell me that's not fucked up. While this is from State House News Bureau. While Ohio's new 6-week abortion ban in place, a Democratic state lawyer says it's time for the Ohio legislature to give consideration to a bill that holds men who cause an unintended pregnancy responsible, whether the sex that leads to their pregnancy was consensual or not. Isn't like child support and alimony and all that stuff part of that responsibility?
Yeah.
But we got to go further now. There's something I
What
saw.
about the fucking girl? Okay, how about this? Here, I can't wait. Oh, this is going to be a fucking fun one. I can't wait. Oh, I fucking hope they pass it. Because what about the bitch that fucking bangs a dude? Oh, well, I'm pregnant. You got me pregnant. You didn't let me pull out. Prove it.
You raped me. There was something said.
Oh, I'm going to go to Ohio and start a fucking fisting clinic.
Where did I see that? Maybe it was on YouTube.
Ha!
It was on YouTube Shorts, I think. There was a video that said 43% of men were raised by a single mother. 78% of men, or 78% of the teachers in the public school systems are female. So that means, what was it, 93% of men? Or no, it was almost 50% of men have had a strict female figure in their life 100% of the time. Nearly 50%. And they said all this stuff with masculinity, there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. There's no such thing of any of that. The problem is that masculinity is not present.
Wait, what?
The problem isn't toxic masculinity. The problem is there's no masculinity to be taught to kids, to children, to, like, young ones.
There's no masculinity present.
Yeah.
I got
So
it.
now everyone grows up and they see what a woman sees and be like, "Yeah, put that lip back."
I'm sad about things. I want to talk about my feelings. Get the fuck back up in that eye, bitch. That's what I thought.
I saw that, and funny as it was, I was like, that's not wrong. That is a huge thing. And I've heard a lot of women around my circles say there's a big problem. It's like the women are attacking men for just being men.
Well, there's a guy on TikTok. I gotta find him. I'll send you a link to him. Follow him. I follow the guy because I at first it was the shock and awe he was getting. I was
Isn't
watching.
that one guy that's like thin, bald? He's a boxer or something like that, or maybe an MMA fighter. He always wears sunglasses, got the goatee, and he always runs his mouth.
Yeah,
All right, I can't remember his name. He's a fighter of some sort.
he's the one video. The video that made me follow him.
Stop being a bitch.
No, he goes, the video that made me follow him, and I'm like, this guy's got some points. One of the earlier videos I remember watching of him on TikTok was he was sitting in like a studio room.
Yeah, he
and
does a lot of podcasts and shit like that.
Yeah, and there was a bunch of women, and she goes, but the one girl was like, you should be responsible for this. He goes, okay, well, he fucking burns her. Like, you want me to pay for everything? Are you gonna give it up? Well, no. Well, then I'm not paying for everything.
Right.
You expect me to do something for you, but I can't expect you to do something for me. Well, that's just the way it is. Okay, so if you want a traditional man, you need to be a traditional woman.
Right.
Traditional woman is
I
stay at home, blah, 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 blah. Goes on, just tears. You don't, that's not what I meant. So what the fuck do you mean? She shuts down. That's why I started watching him in the first place. I'm like, oh.
And that's a valid point.
He's
That's a
shutting some
dead-on
women
valid
up.
point.
It's funny. And I'm not saying anything negative towards women. I fucking love women. They're awesome. But the fact of the matter is, you got these fucking women that sit there and they get a platform or they get a following, they get on a podcast, they get a few people that say, sister, you're right. You speak how I feel. And all of a sudden, they're fucking empowered. Look at Whoopi. Way to fucking go, bitches. You're getting fucking Whoopi right where she doesn't need to be. So, that being said, the fact, this guy, the one video I just saw him that made me decide, I saw it a little while ago, that made me follow him. I was like, oh, fuck this, follow. He goes on this tear about, he's like, you ain't got no control in your relationship. That's why. And the guy goes, what do you mean? He goes, does your girl go through your phone? Yeah. Does your girl text you where you're at, what you're doing? Yeah. Do you answer her? Yeah. Okay. You do the same thing to her? No, I'm not allowed to. Well, there you go. You lost the authority in your fucking relationship.
And boy, is that not across the board.
Hold on. It gets better. He goes, you want me, she wants you to provide a life for her, right? He goes, yeah. She wants you to protect her if something bad happens, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. She wants you to fix her mistakes. He goes, yeah. He goes, so why the fuck don't you have the right to stop her from making those mistakes so that you don't have to fix those problems that she's going to cause for herself?
True.
And the guy's like, well, he goes, no, you're a fucking bitch. I was like, whoa.
Oh, he's right.
She uses sex as a fucking tool against him. Oh, she's not a sexual person. She's not affectionate, whatever the case may be. Who the fuck cares? She sits down there, goes out with her girlfriend, stays overnight with her friends. He asks her, texts her, asks her to respond. She blows him off. And then, you have no right to control my life. Bitch, you're in half the fucking problems you are because you make your own decisions. You want me to provide a life for you, put a roof over your head, lay the fuck down, give it up, or let me take control of your order and fucking fix your problems. And he's like, there's why your fucking relationship isn't working. Get the fuck out because you're a bitch. The fact that he's like you see him flexing. Like, this dude's ready to fight in this video. I'm like, oh.
No, but that's dead on. Maybe a little harsh in his delivery, but it's true.
But you know what?
It's dead on.
Who the fuck?
But that
you need to fucking hit people with
that's
some
just
harshness
it.
nowadays.
That is the kind of thing that a lot of guys need to hear is from that, because what you're going to hear from a lot of, we'll say people, your social media psychologists or anything like that, relationship advice is like, well, maybe if we sit down and talk, like, listen, ladies, people, that's not how you're going to get through to a guy. It's not. Maybe some that were raised by...
Pause. That don't even move. So it has been proven across the fucking board for decades now. Women emotionally connect and therefore become physical. Men physically connect and therefore become emotionally connected. God.
Maybe not across the board.
I'm at play.
But as a general rule, you're not going to get through to a guy like that. You have to be direct, straight to him. Dude, the way I made this analogy years ago to somebody over fucking something, but it was something about me. Like, if I'm doing something wrong, you got to put it like this. Like, you don't bring your car to a shop and go, something's wrong with it, figure it out, and then leave. You go, like, listen, it's making this tick. It's when I press the gas, or it's like when I turn, it's like starting to jolt this way. It's like, you fucking tell them exactly what the problem is, fix it. Like, you don't just go, figure it out. So you got to figure it out. Like, no, you figure out what the problem is and let me know so I can work on it. That's what that's how it fucking works. You can't sugarcoat shit. You can't just be like, well, maybe if we dance around the issue for the next 3 or 4 years, that's not how it fucking works. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody out there needed to hear that. I don't know. But that's not how it fucking works. You gotta, it's direct. This is the problem.
Fuck, it's a good thing I like
And here's another thing. Don't threaten with shit either.
Oh, fucking stop.
Because all you're gonna do for most guys, again,
I'm leaving.
It's a blanket statement. All you're gonna do for most guys and be like, if you're gonna leave over like this, fine, bye, good riddance. And all you're gonna do is cut the relationship off before the relationship is actually cut off.
Okay, hold on. Who plays, what's his name? Give me 1 second. There's a TikTok video, and the minute I talk about it, you're going to be like, oh shit, I know. Hold on. Who played Shaggy in Scooby-Doo?
Oh,
Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
Okay, you already know.
He was in Scream as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Matthew Lillard plays in a movie where apparently they go to Vegas. There's a bunch of bachelors or a bunch of guys going to Vegas for something, and he talks about how getting his heart. He goes, yeah, I'm that guy.
Ocean's 11?
No. He's like, because every bad guy started out as a good guy. But some girl broke their heart and destroyed it in such a way that they said to themselves they would never be like that again. But what I'm getting at,
that sounds like a TikTok thing.
Though. It is. Like, it's a TikTok video bit. Yeah. It's a TikTok bit from a movie he's actually in.
Okay.
And the point he's making.
Oh, I think I've seen it.
Okay, yeah. The point he's making is a woman destroyed him in that movie, which is why he is the way he is. He won't trust women. And it goes both ways. Women have been destroyed by men. Men have been destroyed by women. The problem, is, yeah, you're right. Most guys, fucking spell it out for us. Holy fuck. But guess what? And it goes both ways. And what pisses me the fuck off is when you got a woman that'll sit there and say, you go there, you're the woman. Hey, I'm in a good mood. Let's have sex. Well, you ain't got to be so blunt about it. Okay. Let me just touch your butt. Stop touching me. Fuck off. You want us to fucking tell you what's going on? Tell us what's going on. Two-way street. Fuck.
Not a TikTok video, but there was, TD Jakes, Reverend TD Jakes.
Yes.
Okay. He had a thing with, it wasn't one of those women's seminars, one of those men's seminars. They were talking about...
This is a penis.
No, they were talking about basically what we're talking about right now. But the way he put it, I was listening to him, I was like, that's fucking dead on. He said, a woman, what they care about the most is their body. Like physical affection. Like that's what they care about the most. What's the last thing a woman will give up before you're like, okay, I'm with you? It's their body, right?
I don't know. I've never been with the girl that just gives it up on the first date.
I've never been with a girl. Well, that's what I mean. They don't just like give it up and say, here you go. And it's like, fucking whatever. Most of them, again, blanket statement, but most of them. Unless you go down. Anyway.
We love you, whores.
But what he says is a man's most vulnerable thing is his heart. It's the last thing he gives to a woman is his heart.
That's what I said before.
The reference he gives is if you, in a moment of vulnerability, open up and tell the woman you're with about something that happened when you were a kid or something that you held away from all your buddies, everyone else, and then 6 months later in an argument, you turn around and use that against him in an argument, you will shut that man down for the rest of his life. And then you're wondering, how come I can't get the response I'm looking for from him? How come he doesn't open to me? Because you've already shut him down.
It goes both ways.
It does. But also he goes, when in regards to a woman, the last thing she gives up is her body. You could go and rob a bank or murder someone and then run home to her and be like, listen, I just robbed this bank. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. It was crazy and I don't know what I'm doing and whatever. And I was never here. And then the police show up, knock on the door. She answers and be like, oh, Jimmy ain't here. But then you show up and be like, oh man, I was with the secretary and we got things. She will fucking kill you because that's the most important thing to her is her body, physical, like affection. Where as a man, it's like essentially the opposite. So just in reference to what you were saying, I just thought that goes right along with it.
I get what you're saying.
When I heard it, I'll send you the clip. When I heard it, I was like, I couldn't. Everything that I've thought or felt, he put in words. I'm like, I've never heard it put in words as clear as that and made 100%. I was like, that is what's in my head. And someone actually said it to where it was actually made sense. I was like, wow. Yeah. It only took 30 years for me to hear it. I'm like, oh.
Going back to like the science, I said, literally psychologists, doctors, there's been tons of research. There's been decades of research. A woman needs emotional connection to become physical. They connect emotionally and it causes them to develop a physical connection. You know, they open their heart and you open your heart. Then you get into bed with them. As opposed to a man who you get into bed with him and then he opens up his heart.
Yeah.
That's for the fucking
slum
guys out there.
First hand experience through me, there's shit that I just don't talk about with anybody. I just don't. I probably never will, but it's just for that reason. You remember way back in college when I was with her, like there's things that are just shut off for the rest of my life. It just are.
I think that's a human. That's not a guy thing. That's a girl thing, guy thing. I think that's a human response.
Yeah, it is. The reaction is, but what stems or what the culprit is to the reaction.
Oh yeah,
that's where it differs. Yeah. So anyway, going way back.
The way back.
Senator Tina Mar.
I wish we had a way back. Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Fix some of this shit.
Said her bill would allow anyone who becomes pregnant to file a civil suit against the person who impregnated them, even if it happened as a result of consensual sex. Quote, regardless of the circumstances, I felt it was important to have the vague language due to the fact that abortion is now banned here in the state of Ohio. So this is a response to abortion. Roe v. Wade. This is what this is. All right, you're going to make abortion illegal? Sue the fucker.
So what about in the heat of the moment? When they're like, that's fine. It's okay. I don't care if I get pregnant. Oh, wait, I didn't really want to get pregnant.
Well, I mean, I changed my mind. The bill would allow the court could order a person who it determines causes a pregnancy to pay damages of not less than $5,000 per court costs and attorney fees.
Hold on
plus court costs and attorney fees.
Oh, that might go both ways. That's got to be a two-way street. There's no way that's going to pass unless it's a two-way street. The guy that says, no, I don't want to finish, I don't want to be a dad, and the girl who says, okay, I'll take care of it, but then doesn't, she gets pregnant, he should be able to sue.
I don't know if that's going to... But here's let's say... I guess I think that would be a harder case to win.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But here's the thing that just popped into my head. you can't have laws that are discriminatory, right?
You shouldn't.
You can't. Constitutionally, you can't. Okay? If this bill passes and this becomes a law in the state of Ohio, if a woman can sue, and it's not what you were talking about right now, if a woman can sue a man because she was impregnated unintentionally, that would be a violation of constitutional law saying you can't have discriminatory law, because a man can't sue a woman because he got pregnant and didn't want it. It's only a woman being able to sue a man. That's discriminatory law. So if this passes, I don't see it passing just for that reason. But if it does pass, like,
It's gotta be. Then it's gotta be both. It's gotta go both ways.
has to.
Oh,
Because if it doesn't, well, now that's a violation of Constitution.
we fucking we put together a fucking smart concept without even trying.
Yeah.
This show is advancing.
Don't fucking listen to us.
Please don't listen to us. For those of you that
Listen, I don't
hate
know.
me,
Most of the time,
please
I don't know what the
listen to
fuck
us.
we're talking about. So, no, man, the Truckers Society loves you. Like,
Oh yeah,
my uncle's like, I fucking, yeah.
Ma told me. Uncle Scoot loves you.
Yeah.
He loves when you go on your tangents. I'm like, fuck. People love when I have my fits. Oh shit.
Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, dude, they are going for everything to make him so that he cannot run. Because he has officially said he will run. Again.
Did he officially say?
There was articles about him declaring if he gets nominated, he will gladly run for presidency again. I'll have to research it. I'll send you the link. And that's where this is stemming from.
That's what a lot of people said.
They need to nail him with a felony conviction of any sort,
So he can't
run.
When this first dropped, before the documents were released, anything about what they were looking for, anything, they said he has illegal documents, or he's got top secret documents. And then a lot of people on the right were saying, well, as a president, he can have those and he can declassify them.
Yeah.
So they're available, even though there's a process to do that. It's not like, these are declassified mine. Can't do it that way. There's a process, but he can declassify them. He's got that power. So there was that floating around. And then the fact that they said when he was president and he took the documents, he was completely in his legal ramifications to have possession of them. But then the moment Biden took office, January, whatever the fuck it was,
Yeah, whatever it was.
he no longer could have them. So that's why they went to get him. They filed a subpoena, I think this past January or February, and they were working with Trump and his base camp to get everything back. Mm-hmm. And Trump was giving him the documents back that they were requesting.
Yeah.
The FBI told Trump to, when he still had them, he said, if you're going to have them, keep them locked up in a safe,
Yes.
like double padlocked or whatever. Which a lot of people is like, they had to break in to a padlock thing, which they told them put on, which to me, that's just fucking like throwing mud. Like, yeah, whatever, fuck. So what came out after the fact is a lot of people, well, first they didn't know what it was. And then after their speculation, people were saying, well, maybe it's nuclear secrets or nuclear weapon, whatever, and he's going to give it to Russia. And my first initial reaction was that. It's like, we're still not fucking done with the Russia thing. Like, you went after him already for 4 fucking years after 2016. He's in collusion with Russia. And then it comes out, Hillary Clinton made up that bullshit, and it was actually a fake story. But you're still running with it.
And she's still fucking floating around like nothing, not a care in the world.
The fucking Democrats are like The View. They just double down on bullshit and be like, well, look at COVID. Anyway, getting off of COVID. But so up to this point, what I know so far is what I just stated to now, that they took the documents, they did release the warrant and said they basically had free access to everything except the club, like the guest rooms, which is essentially a club, and so they didn't have access to that. But they raided like his wife's like dresser drawers and everything. He's like, were you trying shit on? I bet you were fucking trying shit on. So, but I heard while they were doing the raid, the day after, a couple days after they did the initial raid, there's a lot of people saying this isn't about documents. This is about January 6th. They're going in there taking cell phones, I guess, from people that are also, that's added on too, but taking cell phones, looking for something to tie him to January 6th indefinitely. Be like, this guy, see, I told you. And that also would eliminate him from being able to run for 2024. That's what I know to this point.
I'm telling you.
Brian Stelter from CNN, he even is on record from CNN stating that this is not a Republican problem. It's a problem for everyone in regards to the Trump raid. Because now, if the FBI is weaponized by the government, they can basically just go against, I don't like your position, you're against my party, fuck you. And it's basically a personal police.
Mm-hmm.
Which you're not supposed to be. But that's a CNN anchor saying that. Be like, this is a problem, don't you? This is even people on like the extreme sides being like,
we've been calling this since day fucking one.
This is a problem.
He's right. He's building America back because we all realize he's fucking up. And we got to get on the same fucking bandwagon to figure shit out.
Hopefully, but at the same time, they keep pushing things with abortion and all this other bullshit in between, constantly spreading people apart. So, like, now
they're reaching for straws.
It's this weird fucking...
We'll be for president.
Oh, my God. Yes, just because...
Can't make it any worse than it already is.
I said that before. How many times have we said that before? And here we fucking are. And there is room for improvement or disprovement at this point. Because it's...
Hold on. I'll be right back. I gotta check something.
Bye.
I'll be right back. All right. Just wanted to make sure.
We got COVID?
No. More frequently.
Next time you listen.
I could make a joke with that, and I'm not going to.
We just went on that raid.
I was going to say, I can't do it. I can't.
It was just, any joke at this point would probably just completely tarnish that whole thing.
I was going to say.
Not that it's going to stop later episodes, but.
No.
Yeah, Trump is all for releasing the documents and everything, of course. Like, I think the date after it all happened, he was on Twitter be like, fucking release it. Yep. Whatever. So, but that could be a Trump move. Be like, I'm untouchable. Release him. That could just, because, he's...
But if he's got no involvement, then that's just, fuck it. I don't blame him.
I think it's like, release it. But then do you think, what if he has shit on the powers that be now, and they want to go in and get it, and he's like, fucking release him. What is it? And they're like, oh shit. We'll release it if you don't give it back. Release something else.
Ohio abortion.
JFK assassination. He was a patsy.
I saw on TikTok those dark humor joke videos. You seen those?
Maybe.
Yes. So I finally decided to try a new sex move with my girl. It's called the JFK. It's where I splatter all over her, and she goes screaming, running out the room.
Back to the left.
It's terrible.
Yeah. So, yeah. So Trump said, go ahead and release the shit.
Good.
Maybe not in that, what I just said, but whatever.
It works.
Meanwhile, at the same time as this happening, or like the day after, and then a couple days after that, there were Trump endorsed candidates that were winning their primaries, but then also being subpoenaed or have like cell phones being confiscated, looking for ties to January 6th. I made a note here, which I already said, that maybe they're trying to tarnish Trump's name in the lead up to.
Yeah, I don't know why. It kind of looks better. Just wondering your mic. It's fine. We're good. What?
So I've done this for all the time. Oh my God. Give it time, folks. The whole thing's just gonna come collapsing down. Like, I'm new. I don't know what to do. Oh, jeez.
Hey.
The left constantly calls. This is another note I put. The left constantly calls the right fascist. It's like, think about that. Like fascism. You know fascism, right?
Yes.
Like dictatorship. Okay.
Yes.
Why? I think specifically Trump. Why would they call Trump a fascist? But at the same time, Trump is 100% behind the Second Amendment to arm the civilians, which a number one thing attribute in fascism or a fascist is to disarm the civilians. So they're constantly calling the right, you're a bunch of fascists. Like that, by definition, doesn't fucking make any sense. You need to stop watching.
You need to be a host on The View.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you need to stop watching The View. You watch The View, don't you? I think that should be everyone's response now for bullshit like that comes out. Be like, you watch The View, don't you? And when they just sit and ponder it for a while, you just leave it at that. So that way you don't have to get in a shouting match or arguing back and forth. It's like, viewer. You're a viewer. You're a viewer. What? And just walk away and let that stew for a millennia.
You viewer.
You're a viewer. That's going to become a derogatory term.
Oh, great.
I'm offended by your...
It's going to be a domestic terrorist
I'm not a viewer.
It's going to go on the list for domestic terrorist slang words, for trigger words.
You're
a big one, Tom.
Vladimir Zelensky, president of Ukraine. Mm-hmm. He's now inviting Xi Jinping to help rebuild, or for China to help rebuild Ukraine. Why is that significant?
Because aren't we like not dealing with the Chinese?
Yes.
Because there's a lot of shit, like they said, don't fucking bother with us or we're gonna do something stupid. To put it bluntly.
Right. That's part of it. Ukraine is at war with Russia.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. Okay. We are funding Ukraine.
Yeah.
We're backing Ukraine because Russia is our number one enemy. Why China isn't, I don't fucking know, because Russia is a tiny economy, a large country, but a tiny economy. Mm-hmm. China is massive. They're dangerous. We don't like China, mostly. Business-wise, we do. But now, we brought up the thing with the currency, the gold standard currency. Mm-hmm. Russia and China are partners. And Russia has told China that they would back them if United States were interfering with China and Taiwan. So China and Russia are partners. We're funding Ukraine. Ukraine's opening talks with China. So Ukraine is partnering with China, who is an enemy of us, and a partner with Russia, who's our arch nemesis now.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
We're funding someone who's partnering with. It's this weird fucking triangle of we're giving money to someone who's going to give money to China to help them rebuild, who's the partner, who's in alliance with our evidently arch nemesis right now in Russia. It's like a weird fucking wrestling storyline that when you sit down and try to figure it out, you're like, there's a lot of fucking holes in this story. But I guess I'm supposed to have suspended disbelief.
Basically what it comes down to is, like I just said, the old adage, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So Russia is our enemy based on a government standpoint, not a civilian standpoint, governments to government, Russia and the United States are enemies.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
So the enemy
The article I had was fucking not found. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, wait.
Did you
that
lose
doesn't-
yourself?
Yeah, I did. Because China and Russia are friends.
Well, they're in alliance anyway. But
We're
they are gonna back each other.
They are?
Yeah.
So, all right. So, yeah. That goes... All right, that doesn't make sense what I was just saying then. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, because it would have to be... China would have to be enemies with Russia, along with us being enemies with Russia. That would make China our friend, because here we are working with China now
But the fact
to
that-
build back Ukraine.
But no, we're sending all these billions of dollars to Ukraine, and then Ukraine turns around and talks to China, hey, help us. I'm like, what? We fuck.
Because our dollar's worthless.
And we talked about that too, so there's no such thing.
Yeah, there is. The Family Values Tour.
Yeah.
That's a good concert. We should go.
Going along, but does that still go on? Does it?
Yeah.
I thought all those artists were dead or something.
No.
You see, speaking of just jumping off topic for a second, you see clips of what's his face? Is it Chad something from Hatebreed? Mudvayne?
Oh, yeah.
What happened to him? And, all right, let's just run with this. And there's all the things with Vince Neil from Motley Crue.
Oh, yeah.
Like him, when he sings, he's not even saying words anymore. Like, it's fucking bad. It's embarrassing. I love Motley Crue, but I don't know it's embarrassing. It
Well,
embarrasses me. It's like when you say "got him" or "bro" or something like that. It's like just something cringes inside my soul. I'll be like, ugh.
Well, look at Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses.
I was gonna say that too. He's better. He's better than Vince Neil, but still, it's like, you were such a powerhouse at one time.
And drugs and alcohol and fat.
And now,
got over you.
And now it's just it's years of being out of it, and then just age, and you just
AIDS or age?
yes.
Ages. Ages. Yeah.
They should be censored. Not really. No one should be. But the World Economic Forum proposes AI to automatic censorship of hate speech and misinformation across the globe. One blanket. One, say, iron blanket. Iron Man reference. To basically just stop everyone. It's like, well, it says the World Economic Forum continues to beat the drum of the need to somehow merge AI and humans as a supposed...
I'm not breeding with any AI.
Oh, you will.
I've seen
much
Blade Runner. It doesn't end well.
Society and economy. It's never a sure bet
I
if
don't
this
want Harrison Ford
Davos-based
hunting me
elite's
down.
mouthpiece comes up with the outlandish solutions and proposals as a way to reinforce existing or introduce new narratives, or just to appear busy and earn its keep from those bankrolling it. So, are you coming up with stupid ideas because you just can, or because you're trying to push something else and make us go, that's fucking crazy? Do the first one, he said. I mean, I suppose if it works.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, here we are. Hey, that's my line. With the WEF turning its attention toward what apparently the burning issue in everybody's life right now is. No, it's not the runaway inflation. Energy
Yeah.
costs and even food security in many parts, which are, the important issues. Let's talk about what people are saying. I don't want my feelings hurt. So we got to control that. The group seems to be hard at work squaring the circle and combating internet trolls, i.e. solving the broadly and vaguely defined problem of online abuse. It's what you'd expect to supposedly be about child abuse, disinformation, extremism, and fraud. That's the important issue here. The World Economic Forum, all those powerful elites in one convenient little package, they're focusing on the important issue of whether Johnny dropped an N-bomb or something. Never mind the shit that actually matters.
The millions of vets sleeping on streets, not eating.
Don't worry about that. Have you fucking seen Skid Row? How massive it is? Like,
That's why I made the reference.
Like
It's
100 plus
fucked up.
thousand people. Fuck. I've heard Tent City. I've heard it a lot through Joe Rogan and everything else. But once you actually see it, holy shitballs.
Yeah, dude. It's bad. It's bad. But you're right.
But we're not
We
gonna
need
take
be
care of
more
that.
concerned. We need to be more concerned with making sure that the little boy or the little girl who's in 3rd grade and gets mad at the teacher for not affirming them as a cat and put a litter box in the bathroom, we need to make sure that's addressed before I think the one number I heard was like 200 plus thousand.
I wouldn't be surprised. I like I said, I saw a video of it, and it's just like, wow, that's like I had an envision. Like, I hear about Tent City, and I think of basically what I had in my mind is maybe a bigger version of it. You remember They Live, Roddy Piper? You remember like the tent town, I guess, in comparison?
Yeah.
Well, it was like half a football field, maybe a football field. I saw maybe like a few football fields worth. But like the actual size of it is just, it's fucking blocks. It just goes. I'm like, well,
Dude.
I was wrong.
It would blow Central Park out of the water. Like, there would not be enough room for a quarter of them.
But we're not going to focus on that.
Nope.
And we have to make sure that you're not saying naughty words and not hurting
Like
people's
penis
feelings.
and vagina.
Hey, whoa. Calm the fuck down.
My bad. My bad. I probably, you know what? You're right. Saying
You're
a
a
man has a penis,
Fucking 18-wheeler.
a penis makes a man, and a vagina makes a woman, is something that we need to be censored for saying. If we were to say that out of context, which,
Yeah.
you know.
Everything we say is completely, we didn't say it. I identify as something that said something that didn't say something that's incriminating to me.
I identify as that.
So in this day and age, I can say anything because I identify as someone who's innocent.
There you go. We got trans species, transgender, trans age, transracial.
I am now trans guilty.
Oh my God.
You see people in Missouri carry individuals being audited by the FBI door to door. Do you have guns? What guns do you have? Can I see them?
Oh, I saw that video you sent me.
Which one did I send? The guy getting arrested. Yeah, what a brilliant way. Okay, so
I hope that happens to me.
and there was a video of a guy doing it, and it was just like, what the fuck? It's like, I shouldn't have to show you. But the second video I saw was a guy responding to it, like he knew what the fuck to do. So this guy came to audit what firearms he has. So he goes, I'm not letting you in, something along those lines. And then he goes and calls the police saying there's a guy attempting to impersonate a police officer at my door. The police show up.
Hold on, pause. No. The guy literally says in the video, he goes, yeah, the federal agent shows up, says, hey, we need to audit your guns. We feel like you may have more than you said.
Right.
He goes, oh, sure, let me go get those for you. I'll be right back. Closes the door, goes to the back room, calls, says there's a person impersonating a federal agent and asking to see his guns.
Yes.
And continue.
So he walks around. Then the video you see is the police body cam footage of them like, get down on the ground. He's like, put your hands
I'm
out.
a federal agent.
Yeah, he's like, I have ID right here. And then he starts to walk away. I'm like, this guy's going to get fucking zapped, man. Like,
He does.
So
he gets tased.
Did he get tased?
You hear it.
It's funny. So they're yelling at him and they're in fucking like go mode too, the two police officers, and he's like, what the fuck? They're like, I got ID, I'm a federal agent.
You're making a mistake.
So he gets down, he's reasonably calm, the agent that's going like trying to audit. Well, he's reasonably calm when they get to him. They're like, what the fuck? He's kind of like verbally combative or just like argumentative anyway. So he finally gets on the ground, and then they swarm him. They get on top of him, knee in the back, pull his arm off, and then he started going, what are you doing? I got a medical condition.
I can't breathe. My wife's pregnant.
Yeah, he just
rips off.
Like every fucking thing he can think of is like, I got leprosy. Help me. My anus is bleeding. Just
you're making a big move before he gets done. And he goes, I'm going to tase you. You don't want to do that. Here.
The one, like, I heard it, and I'm like, it made me go wide-eyed when he was like, I got a medical condition. I can't breathe. I'm hyperventilating. But then my wife was pregnant. I just lost it. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? My wife's pregnant. Oh, well, back off. His wife's pregnant. Like, what the fuck would possess you to even throw?
Wow.
I mean, maybe if you're just being zapped, just mental vomit comes out. But that really...
You sent it to me. Watch the video again.
I send you so much shit, I forget what I send you.
You hear it like... The guy even reacts. Are you watching it?
No, I'm not watching it. But, oh, wait. Oh, okay, yeah, I also have here, I forgot. There was, in response to that, or just in general Missouri, like, trying to audit all these firearms owners, the Attorney General of Missouri, Eric Schmidt, sent a letter to Director Christopher Wray of the FBI. It said, "It has come to my attention that the Federal Bureau of Investigation has informed several Missouri county sheriffs that they will be showing up in August to audit, air quotes, CCW permit holder records." The FBI states, quote, "The audit includes an on-site review of the concealed and carry weapons permits," end quote, ... "Let me be perfectly clear. Allowing federal agents from the FBI to have access to the records of Missourians who have a permit to carry and conceal a weapon violates Missouri law and infringes on our Second Amendment rights. Missouri law specifically prohibits sharing this confidential list with the federal government. Information retained in the concealed carry permit system under the this subsection shall not," and this is in bold, "shall not be distributed to any federal, state, or private entities." And it gives the whole article. The people's elected representatives passed this law after it became known that the Obama administration wanted to know which Missourians had firearms, supposedly to establish who was entitled to federal benefits. "We wanted to leave no doubt that the citizens of Missouri have the constitutional right to bear arms, and the federal government has no business poking around to find out their identities. I was a state senator when this law was passed, and I proudly voted for it. In fact, we deliberately wrote the state law... we deliberately wrote the state law so that only the elected county sheriff has access to the CCW list you are trying to get. Here in the heartland, we elect our county sheriffs who are members of the communities. The same cannot be said for your out-of-touch FBI. You may wonder why there is such a strong suspicion of the federal agents here in the show me state. Simply put, Missourians are hardworking, law-abiding citizens who don't need a national nanny state keeping tabs on us. But more than that, over the last couple of years, we've seen story after story of incompetence and corruption at the highest levels of the FBI. Our trust in your agency is at an all-time low. Here are a few examples of how the Biden administration, the liberal deep staters within the FBI, have severely tarnished the reputation of this once respected agency." It just goes on like like the Clinton thing and all that bullshit, everything that we've already covered a lot of times with.
Oh yeah.
So the the Attorney General just basically went, "Fuck you."
Good.
Yeah, and that's 100% good. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
But that video was priceless. That video was priceless. Excuse me.
So, have you ever thought of working for the IRS?
Yeah, because they can conceal carry.
No, they can. A bill passes.
84,000 people there.
Almost just under 87,000 IRS agents. They're planning by the year 2031. I think it was 2031. They want to hire almost 87,000 new IRS agents. I've fucking been an advocate of two things: the Federal Reserve and the IRS being fucking completely obliterated. There's a bunch of other things too that need to be gone, but those two things are big time. And now with this bill that passed, with all this extra money, they're just hiring more fucking IRS agents, which is they're gonna audit everybody. But, well, not everybody, literally, but like instead of auditing businesses and shit like that, and the occasional, civilian, they're going to have a lot more people to audit a lot more civilians. So, they have, if you if you are looking for work, I have some of the qualifications. The IRS tax collector. This is a tax collector, mind you. Qualifications from irs.gov. So this isn't like just people saying, here it is. This is irs.gov. Number 1, adhere to the highest standard of conduct, especially in maintaining honesty and integrity. Normal. You get that at pretty much any job. Number 2, be willing to work a minimum of 50 hours per week, which may include irregular hours, and be on call 24/7, including holidays and weekends. Shitty, but you get that at a lot of places nowadays, especially. Number 3, this is where we get a little weird. Remember, we're tax collectors now. Me and you. We're putting in our applications right now, right after the show.
Okay.
So, number 3, maintain a level of fitness necessary to effectively respond to life-threatening situations on the job. Tax collector.
Pause. Look at this number. This is what 85,000 people working for the IRS will cost. And this is for a year's salary.
Mm-hmm.
$5.95 billion.
Chump change. We got it somewhere.
Trump change or chump change?
Yes.
Both work. $5.95 billion fucking dollars.
That's probably what they're going to do. They're probably going to put Trump in jail, take him for everything he's worth, and use that money to pay for all these IRS agents. That was the plan. That's what they're trying to fucking do.
Because $5.9 billion on top of what we're up to, $130 billion we've given to Ukraine.
Oh, I don't even know the total for Ukraine.
Yeah.
The $7 trillion. Who the fuck knows?
$5.95 billion. What's $5.95 billion more to go?
We've really gotten to that point. It's like the one person that's terrible with fucking money, and they just buried themselves in a financial hole, and they've gotten to the point where it's only fucking money. Fuck it. Just put it on my card. Just keep digging the hole. Fuck
That's
it.
$5.95 billion that could be invested
Someone else will pay for
into
it.
the homeless, cancer research,
Yeah. We were just talking about Skid Row.
education, medical care. Instead of giving $5.95 billion fucking dollars to people to give them a gun and say, go get my shit back. No, let's put $5.95 billion into, I don't know, let's say
Anything. Public access
child
TV.
care.
I would be okay.
Health insurance.
I would be okay with public access TV.
Yeah, because our fucking medical insurance field is so great.
How about give it to Brawlhalla so we can fix some of the quirks that we get pissed off? Anyway.
Sony and Blue Mammoth.
Fuck Sony.
Split $5.95 billion between the two of them. Have them fix the bugs in the game and the bugs in the equipment.
Number 4. Carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary. Tax collector. Number 5. Be willing and able to participate in arrests, execution of search warrants, and other dangerous assignments. Mr. Tax Collector.
So basically, this is going to be fucking the bully squad.
Tinfoil hat? I think they're developing a new police force for the government.
Oh, hell yeah. Can I borrow that hat?
Get your own.
Yeah, it's gonna be big on my head. It's gonna be small on my head.
Yeah,
anyway.
this is going to be more like a tinfoil of yarmulke for you.
I'm not going there.
Biden says July had 0% inflation.
Yeah, gas went down 40 cents. So you're right.
0% inflation. But here's the thing. The way they figured that is inflation as compared to the last month.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Because it hasn't gone up. It's
Right.
still high,
It's stagnated.
but it didn't go up anymore.
Here's the problem.
Yeah, you're right.
Here's the
Big
problem.
dumb Joe.
And this
Big
goes,
guy Joe.
and this goes with what we've said before in past episodes with definitions. The way you figure inflation is a comparison to the year prior, not the month prior. So, the inflation's stagnated, so we have 0% inflation this month. It hasn't gone up anymore from last month. That's not how you fucking figure inflation. Inflation is figured out by, in comparison to the year before, where are we? Well, there's still inflation. So that's still... So we're just changing how we define inflation now, too. Not only we changed how we define inflation... what did we talk about last time? The 2 quarters of negative GDP growth Well, that's different because there's all these other things that are actually factored in. So if all of them don't cover, then it's not actually inflation.
Yeah.
So we changed that. But now we're saying, well, the percentage hasn't grown from the last month, so it doesn't count even though we were supposed to cover it from last year. Now we're changing that definition too. It's like, let's just keep fucking moving the goalposts and changing.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
all the fit narrative.
It's like it's trying to hit home runs. Like, could you just bring the fence in a little bit? Like maybe.
Can you put the ball
50
on a
yards?
little post? You mean like a T-ball? It's not a T-ball post.
No.
He's still going to pitch it. He's going to run it down the pitcher's mound to the home plate, put it on the post, which constitutes as a pitch. That's not a fucking T-ball. That's still a pitch.
It's stagnant pitching, please. Thank you. Fastball? Okay.
Home run!
It's a squib. Yes.
No, that's not a bunt. That's a home run.
Somehow.
It bounced 3 times on the ground, which constitutes as a home run. By definition, I already scored.
Somehow they miss or it knocks the ball backwards. Like, I hit it so far it came from the other way. Oh, got a home run. That's pretty much the equivalent of that.
Change the definition of a home run.
The house value bubble is popping.
Yeah, I heard about that. Looking forward to it.
From Fortune.com, new home prices falling, and home builders oversupply, or because of home builders and oversupply. But I think everyone knew that was going to happen.
Oh, hell yeah.
Especially with this COVID
I've been
thing.
waiting for it.
Yeah, everyone was. I considered, because the value of this property just like jumped. Well, it jumped anyway from the work that was done on it, from when I bought it, what it was appraised at. But what I could have put it on the market for, which would almost have been 4 times the amount I paid for it. So I really considered it. Like, man, the problem is getting a different place. You really have to look for a steal because you'll earn all that money from selling this property.
But you'll dump it all back.
But you'll dump it into something else, which once the bubble popped, you'll be sitting on a piece of property that you paid way more for. And it just drops below that value. So I opted not to. I was like, I'll hold off.
But you got a nice setup here, though.
I do, and I was like, man, and plus my interest rate is so fucking low. Like, I went to refinance like you're supposed to, and I went to my bank and they looked at my interest rate and they said I wouldn't even bother. They said, you're not going to get much lower than that. I was like, oh, all right, well. You remember, this is the last thing I'm going to say, unless we get on a spiel. A couple weeks ago, I made a comment about canceling Metallica. It was just a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. It was a joke in passing.
Yeah, well, the Stranger Things group that love Metallica suddenly, wow, Metallica, who are these guys that came out of nowhere? That whole spiel, Stranger Things. Now, they're going back in Metallica's past and being, they're just going to try to cancel Metallica now. I gotta learn to keep my mouth shut.
Can you please, predict something?
It was from...
For me?
And it wasn't even from people that are in Metallica now. That's the fuckery. It was specifically Dave Mustaine and Jason Newsted. Like, Jason Newsted's been on stage, he was on stage, doing the Hitler, the Nazi salute and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that happened 30 plus years ago, now this Stranger Things group are coming along and be like, they're racist, cancel them. You had to figure that was going to happen. Jesus. And what's funny, too, is Kirk Hammett is Filipino descent. Dave Trujillo is, what is he? He's Mexican and...
The bassist.
Yeah, and a Dominican? He's Mexican and something else. He's not Caucasian.
No.
Basically what I'm getting at.
He's
here.
7 foot tall.
He's
fucking
not
300 pounds.
Caucasian. He's an awesome bassist.
He's a big dude.
Anyway. But they're racist. I guess those two didn't get the memo. They're just kind of playing, have no
Well,
fucking
it was before. No, it was the original founding members. Kirk was one. No, he wasn't.
Kirk and Dave Mustaine, okay.
Kirk wasn't an original founding member. He wasn't there in the beginning. He's never been there. He just showed up yesterday. That's why he's not excluded. That's why he's not included in the
What?
racism.
Yeah. When did I make that statement? Well, he showed up after that. 2022. You're right. The blackout. What? Who? What? And Justice for All? I've never heard of it.
You mean Metallica?
No, that was Hurt Kemet. That's who that was. It was a different guy. He had straight hair, but that was curly.
He's also the one that fucking killed Napster, the prick.
No, that was Lars.
Yeah, that was Lars. Lars Ulrich.
Well, it was really.
It was the whole band.
Yeah, it was the
let's be
whole
honest.
band. And Napster came
And
out.
then did you...
But, they were onto something. This is going to kill our money. Which it did.
Oh, yeah, it did.
Like, records were basically unless there's collectors and stuff. But CDs and records are pretty much no longer.
And then, did you ever... You remember back in the PlayStation 2 days, Guitar Hero.
Right.
It was Harmonix created it. Awesome game. It carried over into the PS3 for a little while. It touched the PS4 for a game, and that was it.
It kind of died out.
Yeah, it faded away, but it was still good entertainment.
Right.
So Guitar Hero did a Metallica version. Lars. He got blasted. I think it was Big Brother Magazine blasted him for it. He went on record to say, "Yeah, it's great. Let's get a free copy." Sorry, I didn't mean to start there. Big Brother was like, "What, you fucking idiot? You want free shit?"
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Fuck you.
Do you remember
Napster.
at that time, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever it was? Like,
Yeah.
were you around for you? Were you in the room, the same room as you were? Do you remember the conversations you had?
No, you can't get a free game. The game developers are going to get their money. Well, I'm famous, so I deserve something free. Yeah, okay, buddy.
He was a tennis player. He's a rich kid.
Yeah.
He was a tennis player, too.
Mm-hmm. He was. I know.
Or maybe he still is. I don't know. Nothing against tennis players. Just Lars. You know what always was awesome for me to see? When Lars was out.
Penis.
Yes, there was a penis sitting back of the drums. No one was actually playing it. It's like, wow, they're good. Oh, no one's playing it. Anyway. But before he died, Joey Jordison was taking his place for a while for a few shows. I was like, wow, this is what Metallica sounds like when they have a drummer.
That's all right.
Joey Jordison was fucking
He was.
awesome.
Rest in peace. Lars isn't a terrible drummer.
No, he's not. Not
He
at all.
actually is a very.
I just like
skilled drummer.
busting his chops.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he's a really
He's a good down-to-earth guy.
He's a really good generic drummer.
And he's down to earth. He's a pretty good dude too. He's actually pretty down to earth.
Never hung out with him, but
Well, it's a lot of the stuff I've read, a lot of the stuff I've seen. But though it's just those few moments. It's like our current president. You kind of fucked up. Remember that time? Will you stop bringing that up? Remember that? Where are you going?
a few moments.
I don't want to trash the poor dude.
No, wait, which one?
Yes.
This is the.
Yeah, you're
on
like,
that note.
say yes, women.